Welcome to Hoops High, Chicago's leader in youth-produced sports broadcasting and youth media education. Hoops High is produced by high school students learning the skills of professional broadcasting. Hoops High is the flagship program of Free Spirit Media and is made possible in partnership with After School Matters, the Chicago Public Schools, and Chicago Access Network Television. We hope you enjoy the show.
We're here with more game action. Here today we have Collins taking on Austin Academy. Tilden. I'm Kimberly Stewart, serving as your play-by-play announcer.
Hey y'all, I'm Delia Ngubani. I will be your color commentator.
We're here at Collins Academy, located at 1313 South Sacramento.
But y'all already knew that.
You know. Tip goes to Tilden.
Collins wanted it to be known that they won the tip.
They really won it, but the ball was stolen. Number 3 passed it off to number 6, who has trouble regaining the ball. Number 3, Carl Jackson.
And as a reminder, you're watching Hoops High. Remember, you can watch Hoops High every Saturday at 8 p.m. on KNTV, Channel 19. That is for all of the hottest school sports action around the town.
Bring it around town.
Yes, Lord.
Number 1 from Collins on the drive, and he's fouled. Ness Cahill. We do have brothers out there. Cahill, M. Hill. Number 12 is M.
It would have been good to get some first names or something, but that's all right.
I mean, you know how that go.
You know how it goes. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't.
His second shot is off the mark as well. Ball given to number 5. Anthony's shot is air ball. Ball same way. His last touch by Black.
The bleachers are completely empty.
Yeah, we need some port.
Yeah, we need to get the game busting.
Looking for someone to inbound to. And 5-second call is called. Give it up to number 11, though. Michael Bailey, who still tried to put it up, even though he missed after the call.
It's the effort that counts. It's the effort that counts. Number 4 puts it up. No good.
T. Matthews missing his first shot attempt, which is a 3. Speaking of 3, number 3 hands it off to number 5, and he misses. Anthony for another incomplete. And timeout is called pretty quickly.
Hoops High is produced by high school students who are learning the skills of professional broadcasting. All of the camera work, announcing, directing, and engineering is done by us, the students.
It's a us thing.
It's a us, it's a we, it's a family thing.
We all in this together, you know.
We're all in this together, 'cause we know. I don't know the rest of the song.
That's fine.
I don't know the rest of the sizzon, but no I don't, but it's okay.
Back to more game action.
Back to the gizem. Score is 0-0, 13:26 on the clock. It's the first quarter. 1 foul to 1 foul.
Number 4 with it. Passes it to number 5. They're swinging right now.
Passes it to number 1.
Cahill dishes it off to number 4 again.
Puts
His
it up.
3 is off the mark. Another miss by Matthews. Number 3 pushing it. And Carl Jackson gets the first shot of the game.
About time. That was his first shot, and he made it.
So glad I made it. Cahill with it. Back to Matthews. Matthews gives it to Dawson. Cahill for the 3. And it's off the mark. Big man rebound by number 3, Carl Jackson. Does a little shaking and baking and driving, and he switched lanes.
He
Couldn't
needed
connect.
one of his teammates to be there to clean that up. They could have made it.
Yeah, we need some defense. I'm
Mhm,
sorry, some
mhm,
rebounds down
mhm,
below.
mhm. I knew you was gonna clean that up. I have faith in you.
Carl's first shot is in there. You know, free throws really are make it or break it.
Yes, we all know that.
Those points could go a long way. Second one is off the mark.
Free Spirit Media strives to give youth a voice so that we can inform you and inspire others. Thanks for supporting our work.
What do you think? Number two with it. Hands it off to number 5, Anthony, who's fouled. First free throw was in for number 5. Allen's second shot is up and it's in there, just like the first one.
Yeah.
Number 11, Bailey inbound is number 3. Number 3 with a pass to number 7 and he couldn't get a grip on it. Thomas is going to have to work on that. T Hill with it. Little spin move. Good pick by number 4. Matthews setting up the 3 for number 5, but Allen misses it. Ball is deflected
Ooh.
and a foul. Number 2 for Collins will be going to the line. Dawson.
And Collins is in the black, while Tilden is in the white and purple. I don't see no crazy kicks on the floor, Kim.
Yeah, I don't either.
I guess they just true hoopers. They don't care about the shoe game, sock game, all that don't matter.
See, I'm just trying to do it like Nike.
Just like Nike.
Both free throws are off the mark, but he gets his own rebound, coughs it up. Coughs it up. And number 3 on the drive, nothing but body contact. Number 3 called Jackson is fouled. I'm sorry. The ball is going Collins' way.
And now we are going to toss it to our sideline reporter.
Right now we have Collins Academy taking on Tilden. The score is currently 4-3. Tilden just now taking, I'm sorry, 5-2. Tilden leading by 3 with it being 8 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in this half. Tilden and Collins are really a fast-paced team, but they're not getting any buckets so far. But it's the first quarter. The first half, and the game. I should be looking for the game to speed up. But if you want to stay tuned for more action, please stay tuned to Hoops High.
Thanks for that great game update, Mike. On the previous play, number 5 from Tilden, appreciate it. Connects with the short shot, number 5, Anthony. Number 3 from Collins with it. Carl swings, and the shot is in there by Anthony yet again. He's on a roll. T. Hill bringing it up. Number 1 swings it to number 4. Back to T. Hill. Number 5 gets it. And Allen is fouled yet again.
He was happy about that.
It's like he's being gravitated towards the line. Every time he drives, he's getting that contact. What more could a ball player ask for?
Nothing. Like you said earlier, free throws can make a break. So the most you can get, go for it.
Yeah, and he's going for it. He hits his first one. Score is still under double digits, 7-3. Second free throw is off. Rebound by number 7 for Tilden. And the fadeaway with the fall and the scoop back by number 11, Michael Bailey for Tilden. Number 4 with it in a travel called against Matthew. Tilden bringing the ball down. Number 3 with it. Carl drives to the left side. And it's in there. Good up and under lay-in.
Carl playing like Tilden's MVP.
He the real MVP.
He the real MVP. You won. He won.
Number 2, Dawson swings it to number 1, K. Hill.
Hoops High is the flagship program of Free Spirit Media and is run in partnership with After School Matters, the Chicago Public Schools, and also CAN-TV. This is a team effort all around, and we're grateful for our partners who really do make this possible.
Grateful are we. Number 5, Allen swings it to number 1, K. Hill. Allen sets a pick at the top of the key. Swings back up to the wing. He meets the ball. Dawson, number 2, dishes it in to number 4 for the N1. Good shot by Matthews. He'll be going to the line. Possible 3-point play.
The air conditioner got me a little sleepy. How about you? How you holding up?
I think I'm managing. You know, game is getting pretty exciting right now. Number 3 passes it off to number 11, who dishes it in. And the the
11
shot is no
passed it
good.
to number 2 and 2 attempted to put it in.
Number 3, Jackson with it. Calls for a pick. Number 11 sets it. Mike goes down below after his pick, and the ball is deflected, trying to give it to him. But number 3, Carl Jackson with the steal and the pull up and the miss.
No good. Rebounded by number 8, who's not on my roster.
Parks is his name.
I apologize.
Number 1, Hill with it. Swings it back to number 2. Dawson drives, and number 2 loses the ball. Didn't catch the call. Let me see what the refs do.
Anthony Joseph, Mr. Number 5 for Tilden, plays with a lot of emotion.
He really does. You have to put your heart in the game if it's something you love. I would like to think that all of them love the game. Number 3 with the steal.
Ooh, number 3 almost busted his head on the first save thing.
Carl is going to have to regroup. But that was a great steal.
Yes, it was. But to keep up with this game action and more game action and the Hoops High crew, just check us out on Twitter. Search at Hoops High FSM and follow us.
You should really make that move. Best decision you can make in your life.
We've been working hard, very hard, to make the page entertaining. So the new and improved page is something you all will really enjoy. Check it out.
Check it out. Check it out.
Ain't that a song? Yeah, check
It
it
really
out.
is.
Check it out. Hey, hey.
Timeout has been called.
What do you think that Tilden's coach is telling them in the huddle?
I think that Tilden's coach is probably saying that, you know, we're doing pretty good right now. Have a 5-point lead. Things are really working in our favor. It's 3 minutes left in the first half. Let's at least keep this lead. What do you think he's saying to him right now?
I want to know what you think that Collins coach is telling them.
Well, since you asked,
Just because I asked, let me know
I didn't see
something.
Collins' coach tell him too many words. You know, he just let the boys rest and sit down. But I'm sure that
I didn't see you
what he
watching the
said
man lips.
was for them to, keep their heads in the game. It's not over yet.
It's not over.
Number 2 with it. Number 4, Matthew sets the pick for Dawson. It's passed off to K Hill, number 1 for the 3, and he misses. Number 8, Parks with the putback, and he misses as well. Dawson, number 2 with it. He crosses over to the left side, gives it to K Hill, number 1. Dawson, number 2, sets the pick. Number 5 with it. Allen back to number 1 to number 2, and Dawson with the 3.
Let's sit in now.
Number 3 pushing it up for her.
What I need is for number 7 on Tilden, who is Mr. Thomas, to do just that. He knew I was going to call him out. That's why he tried to put in that work.
Yeah. Good shot by number 11, Michael Beasley. I'm sorry, Bailey. I would have to say that for Collins, number 2, Dawson, has been doing a good job getting the ball to his teammates. They had him in the paint, smothered up like a pork chop on the last possession.
Them smothered pork
managed-
chops.
He managed to still get the ball out.
Y'all don't know nothing about them smothered pork chops.
Yeah, I had to take it back.
Yeah, Sunday dinner.
Going to the line, we have number 3,
3, who is
Carl
Jackson.
Jackson. Jinx, you owe me a soda. First shot is up and it's in there.
In there. Turns the lead to 14.
To 9. Just a minute and a half left in the first half. Second shot is up and it's in there as well, just as the first one. Dawson inbounded it to K Hill, number 1. The defense steps up. Do you think Collins will hold the ball for the last possession or will they shoot?
Hold. Collins likes to hold the ball. They like to do a lot of. They'll be there, just swing and.
Oh, shot is up. Number 4, Matthews with the 3-pointer.
But yeah, I think they'll hold the ball. They like
Number 3
holding
for
the
his
ball.
own 3, and he misses. Complete
Air
air
ball.
ball, Carl Jackson.
Air ball.
And the timeout is called with 50.6 seconds left in the first half. Collins taking a seat.
I don't know how they like play the entire game without like getting a break. Like they have no bench. It's no like time to rest, but
You know, when you love the game, you don't need a rest. You just push, keep pushing.
that's what I was gonna say. As an athlete, ball is life.
Yes. I think it's that telepathy going on. Great minds think alike.
Made the church say amen.
You know, back in my prime, I was pulling no sub games just myself.
When was your prime, Kim?
You know, grammar school
Oh,
through sophomore year.
you 46 now or no?
Not quite.
Oh, okay. You just was throwing it back. Throwback no Thursday.
You know how I go.
You know how it go.
We was doing shows on the road too. You know, took a few road trips. I'm sure these guys have been
On
to
a lot
different
of road trips.
Yeah.
A lot of road trips. Seen a lot of tournaments.
I really think the game is going pretty good. I might have to add. It's becoming fast paced. The last 3 minutes have been speeded up, sped
Yeah.
up.
I thought it was gonna be a struggle getting into the double digits, but well, I don't know. But
Matthews with it, number 4 for.
yeah.
He kicks it out to number 1. K Hill passes it to number 5.
And they'll be here.
Allen
just
back to 2.
swinging,
Dawson with it.
swinging. They'll be here just swinging. Didn't I tell you? Oh, okay.
Another 3 is up and it's off the mark. Same team. Number 5
He got the ball out of there real nice. Oh, strips it from Carl.
Allen with the good hands. Good look.
Puts it up. Yeah.
That's what I like to see.
Yes, Mr. Allen. He did that.
What better way to end the quarter? Great assist. by number
Bringing
one,
the
K-Hill.
lead to 1 point thanks to Mr. Number Fizz, because he is that basketball player.
And he completes the three-point play.
Yes,
I
he
couldn't
did.
have thought of a better way to end the first half.
You or me.
Score is currently tied 15-15. We're here at Collins Academy. Get here. Come feel the bleachers up.
Yes, please. We need to see your beautiful faces.
All of you guys.
If you're enjoying this game, go tell us on our Facebook page. Go comment on the wall and tell us what it was you liked about this production piece.
Add us on Twitter.
Yeah, tweet us. Tweet us. Tell us something.
Live tweet. You know, we interact.
Tell us whether you came Kim or Ngabani. No, I'm playing. We a team. We won.
We are a unit.
Yes, we are. So
And with that being said, we're going to toss to the other unit, Michael Ingram, for an interview with the coach.
Yeah.
They were Coach Steve, College Academy. So, Coach, seeing as though the game is tied up right now at 15 apiece at halftime, what do you think your team needs to do to take this lead and take this win home?
Be a little bit more patient on offense, be more aggressive on defense, and box out a little bit more for the rebounds.
I seen that one of your key players, Marquise, got injured. What happened, and what do you think he'll be able to return in the second half?
Yeah, we're gonna give him a test. See how he got kneed in the thigh. We'll see how he goes. We're gonna give him a couple minutes in the second half.
So what are you guys' game plan to come out in the second half?
Be a little bit more aggressive on defense.
All right, thanks, Coach. I know you got to get to your team. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Michael Ingram, and I'm going to toss to a quick PSA.
Take every advantage.
I am
Confidence.
Determination.
heart.
I am agility,
leadership,
Drive.
I am
Patience.
power,
Bounce.
I am athlete.
I am athlete.
I am athlete.
I am athlete.
You're rocking with Amari Stoudemire, and you're watching Hoops High. Watch it or watch nothing.
Listen to your conscience. Don't let anyone pressure you into doing something that you don't want to do. Because when it's gone, you won't get it back. What's up? Boy, get back.
Yeah, man, you feeling on game, man.
What you mean?
What you mean what I mean?
What you
I
mean?
went to the next level, man.
No,
So what you mean, no?
I'm not ready for that.
Tia, do not do it. You smarter than that. He do not love
Do it, Tia, do it. You feel good, do it, Tia, do it.
That's not gonna happen.
Why not, man?
Cause it's not.
I'm gonna find somebody else, man.
Hi, this is Scottie Pippen, and you're watching Hoops High.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Moore.
And I'm Michael Ingram.
And this is your Hoops High halftime show.
Watch it or watch nothing.
And we're back with more game action.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Did you miss us? Did you miss us?
Oh, you
y'all
ain't
ain't
care.
care.
I think they missed us and this game action.
Yes, Kim. Yes.
If you missed us enough, though, you would come. Stop by 1313 South Sacramento. Here at Collins Academy, in the gym, big gym.
But if you are not going to do that, you can just go ahead and check out Free Spirit Media website at www.freespiritmedia.org to learn what Free Spirit Media is all about. Or you can check us out on YouTube. Search Free Spirit Media to view our YouTube channel. Because like I know y'all like listening to them Chief Keef videos on YouTube anyway, watching them Tink videos and stuff. So go ahead and go check us out real quick.
You might as well.
Y'all shopping on Forever 21 and you could just go check the website out. Simple.
Or also, if you stop by, you can buy CDs of the game. You know, have them handy. You don't have an iPhone.
Yeah. I know some of y'all brothers, cousins, uncles, somethings playing in these games. Go ahead and support Squad now.
Yeah. Collins with the ball. Number 4, Matthews kicks it back out to number 2, Dawson. Dawson drives and up and under. It's in there.
Makes that pretty play.
Team. Collins taking the early lead this second half.
They says, give me my court back.
It's my court and I need it now. Number 3 with it, Carl shaking and baking, passes to number 5. Anthony drives and the ball is turned.
Dunk the pass. How you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 2 come back to do what he did last time, messing them boys up.
Dawson showing them how it go. Pass to number 5. Anthony kicks it to number 11. Michael back to number 5, and that's in there. Anthony for his own 2. K. Hill with it, number 1 from Collins. He passed it to number 12. H. Hill. 4 with it.
Who he throw that to, Kim?
I think Matthew was trying to throw it to number 12. He went over the hill, over M. Hill to be exact with that pass.
I thought he was mad at the ball. I thought he, man, get away from me. That's what it looked like to me. He ain't want to be bothered with the ball.
You gotta love the ball.
Gotta tell the ball, come here, ball.
I would tell him to talk to it, but I don't want him looking creepy out there and telling him that I told him to do it. Michael Bailey, number 11, inbound into number 3, Carl Jackson. Preparing to cross half court. And Hill is waiting over the mountain for him. Shot is off by number 5, Anthony, who gets that steal and puts it in. Number 4 with it. As Matthew was crossing, timeout was called.
Oh, I gotta clear something up for y'all, cause Kim trying to send y'all on a dead mission. Y'all can't come stop by the game. By the time y'all get here Saturday, it won't be no game.
You know, if you rush, cause the game is really that important, you should rush. The score is 19-21.
They won't be able to see this game until Saturday, Kim.
Not if they come.
How about we start posting game dates on the website so you all can go on the website and check out the dates so you can be here when we're here. How about that? Can we do that?
That's helpful.
Okay, that sounds like a game plan. We don't want nobody sitting here and the school be closed.
Yeah. K. Hill with it. Gives it to number 2, Dawson. Back to number 12. K. Hill for the 3. And, ooh. He's fouled. 3 is off the mark. I really think that's the worst thing you can do. Foul someone at the 3-point line.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
It's like just a bad decision. Put your hand up.
Don't this shit make my people want to jump.
Don't this. First shot is up and it's off.
No good.
He comes back. Prepares for the second one. And it's off the mark as well. I think he should have got the high top KDs. Because the lows.
Them ain't doing that boy too well.
Yeah. That one is in.
Do not forget to stay tuned for the Free Spirit Media News at the end of the broadcast. It comes on at 9:50 every Saturday. Learn about what's going on in Chicago and find out the latest on the most important issues with the teams in Chicago. Yes, teens like you, like me, like Kim, like the rest of our production crew.
You know how it go.
Y'all know how we rockin', man.
On the previous play, number 2, Dawson from Collins Academy steals the ball, and his shot attempt is no good. But number 5's Allen. He puts it in there. Call him the cleanup crew.
Clean up, Mr. Clean Up Man. Clean up, man.
Number 3, Carl Jackson with it. He's in the corner on the right side. Skip passes it. Number 6.
They was trying to pull a Collins on Collins, trying to swing the ball. They ain't like that too much, huh?
Number 6, Josh, is sent to the line on the drive. He'll be shooting too.
What's that, Joshua? A onesie? A onesie?
You know.
He gotta
That
get his
shot is
posture
off.
right. He have to make sure that posture was right.
Yep. Putting the arch on it, really. It was a rainbow shot. Second one is up, and that's in now. Score is 20-24. 10 minutes on the head.
And now we're going to toss it to our sideline reporter for the sideline game update.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Ingram, and I'm here with your courtside update. We're here at College Academy where we have Tilden taking on the College Academy Warriors. Score is currently 24-20. Marquise Smith, who was injured in the first half, is currently back out there. He's doing pretty good so far. 3 balls up, and that's a way off. Tilden is trying to make a comeback here. Let's see if they can. Score is currently 24-20 once again. 9 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the second half. And with that being said, I'm going to kick it back to my announcers.
Thanks for that great game update, Mike.
Hey, y'all. Party back, party back.
If you're just tuning in, I'm Kimberly Stewart, serving as your play-by-play announcer.
And I am Dalia Nzinga Ingubani.
The Dalia.
The
For those
Dalia
who don't
Ingubani.
know.
And I'm serving as the color commentator.
Second shot is up, and it's in there. Number 11 from Tilden. I'm sorry. Thanks, partner.
We have Collins in the lead with 24 and Tilden hoping to make a comeback with this 3-point difference.
How possible do you think a comeback will be?
I think
8.5 minutes left.
Possible. They have 8 minutes. They're only down by 3. Well,
Dawson has really been going crazy. Number 2 for Collins Academy. He's been putting in so much work.
he's the reason that the difference is now 5. But I still believe that if Tilden believes that they can do it, then they can do it.
I agree with that belief.
They did have the lead for almost the entire first half of the game, so it's possible.
Number 3, Carl Jackson with it. He really needs to set the pace for his team, being the point guard. That's his duty. And it's still by number 5, Allen. Dishes it off to number 2, Dawson, yet again, and he puts it in there. Number 3, Carl with it, and he puts it in there. He says, here's a bang for your buck.
Bang for the buck, baby.
Number 12, K. Hill, passes to number 2, Dawson. Gives it to the flasher at the free throw.
Tilden
And
said, "I want that."
His pockets just got picked.
Yeah, Tilden said, "I want that about you."
Yeah, let me get them. Just took his cookies.
All that. I need all that. I need everything.
Number 3, Carl Jackson with the last point for Tilden.
What's with you? Why you keep calling him Tillman? What's in your head, Kim? The lights just went dim on a young player and I don't know what's up.
Yeah. Missed shot by number 4, Matthews for Collins. Number 3.
Carl about that.
Carl with the great assist. Bounce pass to number 11, Michael Bailey with the 2-point basket.
But, yeah, you're right. But yeah, you're right. You're right.
Number 5, Allen with it. Passes number 2, Dawson. Dawson kicks it out to number 12, and Cahill cannot put it in. Great offensive rebound by number 5, Allen, who will be going to the line.
And while they're at the line, why not tell you about the Facebook You Dig? If you cannot seem to get enough of Hoops High, check us out on the Facebook page. Get to know the crew and what goes on in every Hoops High production. There it is in front of your screen. Check us out.
Free throw is up, and it's in score 27-29. Collins holding on to this 2-point lead. Number 11 dishes it off to number 3, and a jump ball. Great defense by number 4. Matthews for Collins. Ball will be going Collins' way. Matthew inbounds it to number 1. One of the Hill brothers. Passes it to the other Hill brother. M. Hill with it, number 12.
Cousin out there too?
Probably. And a block by number 11, Michael Bailey.
He said, get that out of there.
Number 1 with the floater, and it's in Cahill. Less than 4:45 left. A travel should have been called against. Excuse me. Travel should have been called, but a foul was called against Collins.
Tilden's coach is not happy with his boys right now.
He's really not. I would be a little upset.
Yeah, the lead was like low, and now they're like
letting the game slip out of their fingers.
Yeah, within minutes.
Number 3, Carl with it. High pick set up by number 11. And the ball is stripped loose. Number 12 with it.
We know we are not perfect, but we are working hard and always learning. We thank you all for your support.
We really do appreciate it.
Y'all can't clown us out here. It's hard. If y'all were in our shoes, if y'all tried this out for a day or 2, you wouldn't even want to do it no more.
But you know why we do it?
Why we do it?
For the love of the game.
Because we love this. What?
I agree with you.
Okay, we love this.
We do.
Right. My mama told me that if you love what you do, you will never go to work a day in your life. Have you ever been at work, Kim? I don't feel like I'm at work right now.
I feel like I'm in my element.
Right, I'm in my zone. If you want to see more of Hoops High, you can check out full games on our brand new website, www.hoopshigh.org. To see games from the past or to stream live from your home or mobile devices, go to that website right there.
Just type it in your browser.
Just sit it in there.
Great defense by Collins on deflecting that pass. Number 1 with it. Cahill swings it to number 2, Dawson.
They tried to kill me out here, y'all.
I don't think it was intentional. They love the reporters. And a timeout is called. What do you think the coaches are saying right now to their players? Let's start with Collins.
Kim, I don't know why you always ask me that question.
The people need to know your input. They need to know what's going on.
I understand that, but I'm always more delighted by your responses to that question. So what I'm going to do is kick it back to you because I just like when you respond. It's always, you go above and beyond what it is that I have to say. So put the icing on the cake. Put them in the coffin.
I think that Collins' coach is congratulating them on how they picked the game up. The pace has been, spectacular.
Right.
They've been having more few errors, I would have to say.
Mhm.
Not as many slip ups.
Right.
But for the other team,
Tilden.
I would have to say their coach is telling them, we had this game in the bag. You got to put your heads back in the game. You know, it's not over. No one's singing yet. It's 2.5 minutes.
The fat lady has not sung. That's what you're saying.
In so many words.
If we could get a coach cam, we would see how upset Tilden coach appears to be. His face is just like, what you doing? What are y'all out there doing? That's what I feel.
Oh, you had an input this time.
Yeah. You know.
And he smokes it. Number 6. Number 5, Matthews bringing the ball down, pushing it pretty hard. I'm sorry, number 4. Number 1 with it. Cahill gives it to Allen. Number 2, Dawson loses the ball. And they're pressing. Dawson said, I need that ball back. Give it to me. He gets it, passes it to number 1 for the short shot, and it's off the mark.
The rim was playing with him.
I really feel like the ref should have just let the ball go, because Dawson was going to get it.
No, I think it was too far gone. That ball was almost in the bleachers, baby. Sorry, not sorry.
Dawson with the easy lay-in.
It's up and it's in there.
Good assist by number 1, Cahill.
Yeah.
Dawson, number 2. Score is currently 27-35.
Yes.
And a foul. I will also have to compliment both teams, you know. There haven't been as many fouls this half.
I have to compliment both teams because of their extraordinary stamina. They out there doing that thing. Them boys out there. Them boys.
Them
out
making
there.
noise.
Yeah, making noise.
Hold up.
Hold on. Them
Shot is up.
boys.
And it's in there. Number 3, Carl Jackson putting in work yet again. Less than a minute left.
Put him in the dirt.
Cahill shaking and baking. The crowd that is here went wild a little bit. Just a tad bit. Number 2, Dawson with it. Kicks it to Hill. Hill to Hill. Cahill misses.
Tilden said, I need all that. Make a pretty play. Aww.
That's a head-on collision. Number 12, M. Hill with it. Gives it to number 2, Dawson. And he fouls number 2. Number 3, Carl Jackson was the one who committed it. Neither team is in the bonus, so the ball will be taken out on the side.
He committed the crime, yes.
Inbound, we have number 12, M. Hill, to number 1, and the whistle is blown.
You know what? You want to know something? You don't want to know nothing?
I'm sorry.
Why would he do such a thing?
I really think that it is a bad decision by the coach to foul at this time. It's 16.2 seconds left, and the boys are still not in the bonus. You're not going to get possession of the ball.
You out of luck, partner. Just take that L.
It's really not a good choice to foul.
But what I was trying to tell you, Kim, was that number 2, Mr. Dotson, he really reminds me of K. Campbell.
Oh.
Yeah, he looked like him.
And the coach is still telling them to foul. I think at this point it's really unnecessary. I personally wouldn't be racking these fouls up on my stats. Going to the line, we have number 4, T. Matthews. First shot is in there.
Yeah.
preparing for his second shot, and that's in there as well. 10 seconds left in the game. And number 3 for the 3, and it's off the mark. That was Carl Jackson. I really believe that the coach is making some bad decisions that he should have made earlier in the game. Back to the line, we have T. Matthews, number 4 for Collins. His last trip, he was 2 for 2. And now he's 3 for 3, completing his first free throw. 7.0 left on the clock. Second one is off the mark. Clock did not start. There it is. And another 3 off the mark. A rebound and an air ball by number 5, Anthony. And we're going to end the game there. Score is 29-37. Collins take this one. Home game, home win. Collins has bragging rights right about now.
Okay.
Both teams
Played a good game. Both teams played a very good game. What we can say is that both teams did play a very good game. I'm sure that Tilden is highly disappointed at the fact of the matter that they came out strong, came out with the lead, held the lead for a long time, and then got it snatched away from them. They held the difference at 5 for a long time, but they just couldn't hold out, right?
Right? I told you, the ball never lies. Whoever wants it is going to get it.
I see what you were saying, and when you first said it, I thought you was over there off your rocker a little bit. I didn't know what you was talking about. I had to see from my own eyes.
Yeah, I was rocking steady, but I knew my partner was going to catch on.
All right. I got you. And now, what we are going to do, you already know what time it is. It's time for that MVP interview. So we're going to toss it to our sideline reporter.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Chris Dawson, the player of the game. So, Chris, you got 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. How do you feel you played today?
I think I did pretty good. I mean, my team got the win, so yeah, that's all I care about.
What is something that your team can improve on as a unit?
Starting strong. We started kind of slow, and we picked up in the second half, though.
So I know that you guys are missing some key pieces to your team and Kraft brothers. So when those 2 guys come back, how do you feel that your team will do?
Way better. I mean, we don't be blowing teams out. It ain't gonna be nothing like this. It's gonna be way better.
All right, thanks, Chris. Congratulations on getting MVP. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Michael Ingram. I'm your sideline reporter. Remember, you can watch Hoops High every Saturday on CAN TV, Channel 19, for all the hottest high school sports action around.
You can watch Hoops High on CAN TV, Channel 19, every Saturday at 8 p.m. Please visit www.hoopshigh.org to learn more. Hoops High and Free Spirit Media would like to thank our sponsors. We are grateful for their support in making our mission of youth media education and opportunity possible.
Hoops High is family, communication.
Enjoy it.
Hoops High is
astounding, creativity,
commitment.
Hoops High is exciting, meaningful.
Hoops High is
technology,
spirit,
a community. Hoops High is home, love, dedication,
inspired,
Hoops High.
If they probably never was exposed to it, they probably would have never have done it, but it's something that you see that interests people a lot.
I never worked with a camera, you know, it was my first time learning about a camera, you know, zooming in, zooming out. It was a real good experience for me, you know. I think it changed a lot in me too. It changed how I think, and it changed like something I like to do in life.
When I get older, I want to be some type of actor. So being in this classroom really helped me out, really exercise my ability to act.
We shooting it and we shooting it off like what we done been through, and like people get to see it and they watching it and they liking it.
Like young kids in the community can do stuff that's like worth some type of value.
Meet Jaden, a 16-year-old from Chicago. He likes reading, playing basketball, and daydreaming. As one of 75 million youth in America, he is the future of our country. But today, Jaden's future is uncertain. A new economy is evolving as Jaden tries to find his way in a school system where more than 42% of students drop out and even more fall behind. For Jaden and others like him, the future looks grim. But there is hope. Youth media programs connect with kids like Jaden, moving them from discouragement toward opportunity through the power of communication. Jaden learns about journalism, technology, and culture. He spends his time engaged at school, in youth centers, and at libraries. He discovers how to observe the world around him and share his own stories. He becomes one of more than 10,000 teens involved in the Chicago Youth Voices Network, a collection of innovative programs that come together with a bold vision to reach more people like Jaden, to transform education, and to shape the health of our city. Together, the network gives vision to the journalists, artists, engineers, and leaders of our future. One story, poem, film, blog post, one youth at a time.
An everlasting memory of the anguish of our ancestors. May those who die rest in peace. May those who return find their roots, and may humanity never again perpetuate such injustice against humanity. We the living vow to uphold this. Like, I always wanted to be white.
I was always just that black girl at school. Even growing up, I was always that black girl.
You think you all that because you light skinned.
Why does me being dark skinned have to do with anything about how good I look?
Just because I'm light skinned don't mean I can't get offended.
Social identity is usually around a construct. So our society has lots of ideas about what is right and what is wrong. And oftentimes those are organized based on our race or gender or any other set of skills.
Colorism is the belief that that one color is better than the other. In most countries, this means lighter skin because European colonialism kind of spread that idea globally that, lighter skin has better value. So a lot of times people think that colorism is only important within the black community or within the American black community, but colorism is prevalent everywhere. It's prevalent in India, it's prevalent throughout Asia, it's prevalent in any country where you have an indigenous culture made up of brown people.
Internalization is when a person, an individual, usually believes some social construct or idea and then decides to act upon it.
I think that a lot of African American women, especially right now at this time in our culture, are working really, really hard to reclaim their femininity. So that's why so many of us wear, long hair and high heels and lots of makeup and all that stuff, because I think we're trying to reclaim something that really was taken from us. When you look at African American women in slavery, they were treated like men, right? So many of us forced outside to work, whether we had our periods or not, in the boiling hot sun, some of us not clothed or improperly clothed. We went from slavery right into having to take care of our families. So we always worked, always. There was never a point in African American culture that we got to sit home and just be like housewives and homemakers. That was never us.
I find that African Americans are often very misogynistic, and they see that as a traditional view as opposed to a social construct. So unfortunately, I think they contribute to the oppression of women because they don't question why these ideas about masculinity or femininity exist.
I feel like the people around us don't really make it no different, don't make a difference of it really, because they, like, whatever is popular, they go with. So if everybody's saying they want a red bone in the music videos, Lil Wayne or anybody saying that, that's who they want to be like. They want a red bone too. They want a thick girl too. They want a girl with money. They want a girl with long hair.
I like a long hair, thick red bone. Up and up, if they fillet me down, nip.
This is towards lighter skin. When you hear the term red bone, how do y'all feel about that?
I get so irritated. They call it red. I be green, blue, purple, red. It's so irritating. I even changed my name on Twitter. Like, my name is not Red. Stop calling me Red. It's just so annoying. It's irritating. It really is.
Well, in the past, okay, red bone. Hey, I owned it, but now it's just like, I agree with what she said. It's just just irritating. Like, me and my friend have on the same color, and they just get out the color we have. Like, if I have on yellow pants, she have a yellow. So I'm like, keep walking. Light skin.
Typically in the media, like, when I see a dark-skinned girl, she's portrayed as, like, masculine and aggressive.
I heard those little smart-ass remarks you made, too. Didn't your mama teach you something? Who the hell do these people think they are anyway? Didn't y'all see me?
No, you move that I can tell, because look, when I inhale, my titty make the horn honk. Listen. You see that? That ain't right.
I hear it.
That scientifically proved that you was adjusting my seat.
I think it was My Last by Chris Brown. And they, it was like, he'll switch in between. It was this one girl sitting in the chair, light skin, she had the real long curly hair, had her makeup done right and everything. He's sitting there singing to her. And then, like, when he'll say, like, something negative, like, basically what he don't look for in a female, it'll fade into, like, this dark-skinned girl whose makeup all messed up with rough hair, and she was chunky.
Even though the media portrays light skin to be better than dark skin, I think it also portrays light skin to be a little slutty to me from what I see, because you see these light skinned girls and you see they're exploring their sexual needs or whatever. So I think it's like more than just, oh, you light skin, you better. I think it's more, it's like you light skin, you give good head, or you have better sex.
Oftentimes, African American women, we are a little bit more full, or a little bit more voluptuous and curvaceous, and over time, that's become associated with sexuality.
I think women in general are overly sexualized. They're objects. Even within, if we have female rappers or MCs, or artists, they have to objectify themselves.
That's okay, baby, go ahead, do your thing right on the way.
Sex always sells. And, with men, it's to attain sex, and for women, it's to be that object of desire.
Society just looks down upon women in general. It's deeper than skin, in my opinion. Women itself, we are looked down upon. We are degraded. When you watch music videos, which is the main thing, women are over-sexualized for everything. African American women, we are very, curvy, and we have a lot of assets, and it's exposed. When you watch music videos, you see chest and you see really, big butts and guys just, hollering at you, and it's like, teens consume that.
I think that as a group, it's sort of hard to fight against such a pervasive opinion that just kind of gets told to you over and over and over again, and it gets told to you in a number of different ways and reinforced in a number of different ways. So I think that many of us try hard to resist those stereotypes.
I have never had a problem with my skin color, even though a lot of girls my color do. I mean, just like a girl of any other color, I could get a man, I can get a job, I can do anything they do, maybe even better. So what's the problem? Oh, I understand. We have been tricked. The internet has tricked us. Television has tricked us. Magazines have tricked us. Society has tricked us. Tricked us into believing just because we're not what they call fair, we're less than a woman of anyone else. Lil Wayne make verses like, how do you say what's never said? Beautiful black woman, I bet that bitch look better red. And we just laugh. I mean, it's like we're in slavery again, except it's with our own people. You could be black, you could be white, you could be dark skinned. It's okay to be bright. It shouldn't make a difference, but it does.
Shows on the bedroom, they be getting it cracking. Nah, I'm too cute for that.
What's up? How you been feeling? My name is Astaria Perkins.
Good morning. How are you today? My name is Nicole Howard.
What's up? How you be feeling? My name is Marisha.
It's not so correct here. How you be feeling? I don't think that's good Ebonics.
Language is about communication, and it's communicating with at least one other person or entity. So the words you choose, the words you use, the order in which you put words in, whether you have inflection, what part of the sentence you have inflection with, it tells a lot about, I think, who you are.
I grew up in an all-black hood community. All I was used to was my language. But throughout my teenage years, I am facing a lot of barriers that made me think, is the way I speak is wrong?
I think language is the foundation of society. When you think about the way we communicate, rules, procedures, whether they're spoken or unspoken, it all involves language.
How you talk, you know, it shows where you from. Like, you know, people got accents. Like Chicagoans have accents compared to somebody who live in Indiana or Ohio. Like, it's what makes us distinct from everybody else.
African American English is basically the non-standard way that African Americans speak at home or among themselves, especially the people that have not had the privilege of pursuing higher education.
My sister and I grew up in two different households. She stayed with my mom and I stayed with my dad. At my mom's house, they speak more proper. Well, I grew up at my dad's house, and we speak that black talk.
Well, basically, I grew up in the Cabrini Greens, which was a project, and it was the ghetto, so most people spoke Ebonics. I ended up coming to North London my freshman year, and I ended up moving back with my grandmother. And when I came here, I mean, it's an urban community, so I felt like, you know, I was at home.
Some cultural groups, we speak loud, and some may interpret that loudness as anger, and it's not necessarily anger. So there's a kind of a cultural disconnect there.
I think I speak more proper when I'm at home. Because it's like I know nobody gonna look at me like I'm crazy or something.
Students learn what they hear the most. So whatever they hear from home, they're going to bring that with them, those understandings, to the school setting.
It can be a liability to speak African American English in some settings because you become stigmatized. Okay, but you know, it's usually a liability to use the wrong kind of language in the wrong place.
Last year when I moved back at my mom's house, every time I speak, my sister had a problem. She always tells me that the way I talk isn't right and I shouldn't speak like that. She is a speech therapist and she thinks I won't go nowhere in life using that kind of language.
Before I came to North Lawndale, I guess I talked like an Oreo, you know. I talked proper before I came here. An Oreo is a black who talks white. Black on the outside, white on the inside. And like, it just made me feel like I didn't belong, so I had to adapt to how things were at North Lawndale.
We are in a system where Ebonics, like non-standard Southern English, like Appalachian English for that matter, these varieties are not accepted in the upper socioeconomic strata of the society.
Before.
Before.
Asked.
Ask.
This.
This.
Ain't.
Isn't.
The origins of Ebonics, the simple way to answer the question is it is English of the 17th and 18th century as spoken especially in the South. And it became associated with African Americans largely thanks to Jim Crow. When African Americans in the South with the Great Migration came to the North and Northerners were not familiar with the Southern way of speaking English, and they heard this particular dialect of English, which is basically Southern English, in the mouths of African Americans, and they characterize it as Black English. Then at some point people call it African American English, and at some point people call it Ebonics.
When I was younger, it was okay that I spoke in Ebonics. But as I get older, I realized that my language wasn't getting valued in certain settings.
Well, schools have their own culture in and of themselves. In the United States, schools, a model of schooling is really based on a white middle class orientation. And schools have a culture where we know that in schools, kids are expected to behave a certain way, speak a certain way, raise their hand. That's a culture in and of itself.
I would not condone a teacher who would demean or degrade a student because of their use of Ebonics. That teacher needs to be able to grow that student from solely using Ebonics to using standard English.
People thought that if African American English is used in the school system, it is a rejection of standard English. That's not what people meant. What people meant was if you talk to an African American kid in a dialect that he understands, because it's the same dialect that is used at home, that makes it easier for the kid to learn every subject matter in the classroom, including standard English.
I think that Ebonics is spoke more in school because it's so many, it's more kids than teachers. Like throughout the day, cause you always see a student. You may say what's up to a student in the hallway because it's what they're used to, it's their lingo. And it's like when you in a classroom, half the time, some teachers won't call on you or you don't really get that attention, so you don't really have the need to, speak proper.
If teachers can understand sort of the syntax or the rules that govern Ebonics, it'll make for an easier transition for those teachers to instruct students in standard English acquisition.
Even though my sister is a speech therapist, she didn't understand where I was coming from. I felt like every time I came around her, I didn't want to talk. I didn't feel comfortable speaking proper. It just wasn't me.
There's a way in which correction needs to happen. And I think that when children are corrected all the time and constantly told that the way they speak is wrong, a child will either shut down, develop self-doubt about themselves, And if they're in school, I think they disengage from school. I think school becomes a space that they're not interested in being in because it's a space that's telling them, you don't fit here.
I can't change how I speak for someone else's satisfactory. So when you tell me that I can't speak a certain way, you're taking a part of me.
I think it takes finding oneself in a position where one becomes uncomfortable because of the way they are being treated by others in order to realize how harmful negative stereotypes can be.
I love speaking in Ebonics. I can't change who I am as a person for someone else's well-being. I found out it's not that I was speaking wrong. I had to tell my sister I know when and where to use my language.
We do live in a global society, so not just learning standard English, but also learning other languages that are spoken around them, having some basic understanding is in everyone's best interest.
I think we have to look at what we would call in the sciences a within group or emic approach, where we just understand a language in and of itself, for itself, not in comparison to something else.
Normal human population is diverse internally. It includes variation. And we don't always have an explanation for why we vary one from the other. And we have to respect variation.
As an African American young lady, the way I speak shows who I am and where I'm from. I'm proud of who I am and where I'm from. Going through this process, I found out I wasn't wrong. It's nothing wrong with me.
I am an athlete. Playing ball is my life. Putting what I love on hold, don't you dare. June 8th, 2010. The lights dim. Surgery. Never had I seen depression until depression took hold on me. That week after surgery, I lay in the darkness, unknown of what will be next for me. Days go on of nothing, waiting for the day I will become Amber Brown again. Depression, a thought of the mind from darkness and pain. The pain of this memory continuing to be a thought of what's next? How do I recover?
Many people don't really realize how connected the mind and body really are.
They really go through a transformation process, and some would tell you that they actually come out of the process changed for the better.
Aware of what's happening in their body. A lot of times people separate their mind and their body. So they might be able to talk about what's going on in their mind and their story, but they're not really feeling it anywhere, so they're dissociated. Expressing it, but they're not really healing.
I think depression can really sort of happen at any age.
Much rarer for very young children to get a major depression, although it does happen.
It's very common that the onset is around puberty.
5 to 7-year-olds don't often present with depression.
And then sort of peaks again, especially for women in their early 20s.
People enter their adolescent and early adult years is when you usually see the first episodes of depression.
It is that way because we look at a sort of set of symptoms that diagnose depression, and what that frequently means is that we miss other symptoms that might be indicative of depression.
And for many people, it's a recurrent problem. It happens over, you have different episodes.
So in children, someone who's depressed, a 3 or 4 or 5-year-old isn't going to say, I feel so sad all the time. I think about hurting myself all the time.
A child may present with being irritable.
They are going to maybe talk about physical symptoms. My stomach hurts, my head hurts, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to eat.
Getting upset easily, getting angry easily. For older people, they can present with depression for the first time, and it may be related to their physical health. And it also may present itself differently. So someone that's over 65 that gets depression may present with memory problems.
If we really think about what the word depression means, it's depressing behavior, depressing action. So both your body, you know, in terms of your action, how you act, what you do is depressed, you do less of it.
Your memories and experiences are affecting how you feel about things.
But also in your mind, there's very frequently a chemical imbalance that allows for that sense of sadness and being down.
What happens is someone develops changes in mood where they feel sad, and changes in thoughts where they feel hopeless and think about death a lot, and then physical changes where they have lower energy levels. And these can become very difficult to change without some kind of treatment where you would get psychotherapy or medications or both to help.
When I was about 9 years old, I found out that I was adopted. Worst thing ever to find out at this point in my life, which I really wasn't supposed to find out until I was about 18, which have been this year. Well, it was unintentional, it was unplanned, it was just spasmodic. As I could recall, it was the summer. I was in about 3rd grade, and it was just a loud conversation, screaming back and forth. And on my way home from my aunt's house, who I initially thought was my older cousin, was my older brother, and he said, us, as in him and the rest of who I thought were my cousins, we're your brothers and sisters. Who you call auntie is your mom.
If we identify depression as a set of symptoms, we can sort of say, this is how somebody is feeling. But that set of symptoms can be triggered, can be brought on by remembering something, viewing something. Perhaps something that is reminiscent of the trauma can bring on more of those depressive feelings.
So I didn't respond. I didn't know what to say. And then when I got home, the people who I knew as mother and father, they waited. And it was probably later on that night that I found out, yes, who I know as mother and father is actually uncle and aunt. And so I brushed it off. I didn't really pay attention to it. I didn't really begin to process it all. I just began to act as if nothing even happened. And it was, I'd say, it was something that began to hunt me down.
What we call affective conditions, or things like depression, are maintained through what we call avoidance, a systematic avoidance that a person develops. And it usually is about avoiding something negative, and it may be memories, like you're saying, hurtful memories.
I was a lot of things. I became depressed, I was angry, I felt unwanted, I felt illegitimate.
It looks like a significant change in eating habits. Either have you gained a lot of weight or lost a lot of weight because you're either uninterested. It looks like, very frequently, it looks like a desire to sleep all the time and to withdraw.
It even be aspects of yourself you don't like to see. Some people won't look in the mirror because they don't want to see, a certain blemish or a certain aspect of how they look. So that pattern of avoidance really reinforces a lot of the things that keep these conditions going.
I acted out in school because of the fact that I was angry, because of the fact that I was at that place in depression that I did not want to be bothered. I didn't want to be told certain things. I didn't want to do certain things.
So that means sort of taking control of your life in lots of different ways. But because very frequently, as I said, depression and trauma are frequently linked, it's really important to sort of identify maybe some of those roots of what's really going on, what's creating that depression.
I was in this school, Crown Community Fine Arts Academy, that I would like to call it now the renaissance of my life. This is when Delvin Barber really became who he was supposed to be.
Some people are given medications that help increase serotonin which is a neurotransmitter, a chemical that your brain produces that's related to depression. Another group are given cognitive behavioral therapy, which is a certain type of psychotherapy or talk therapy where they learn how to deal with negative thinking and change their behaviors related to depression.
Of identifying some of the source of the problem is really important, but then acting, being more physically active in terms of exercise.
For example, there's some research that looks at just having people that have depression exercise regularly. A certain percentage of those people get better. Their depression resolves just with exercise alone.
We sort of help identify some of the concerns, the overarching themes, and really what is making people feel not so good.
And then some need a combination of those in order to get better. So in some ways it's related to what someone prefers.
The physical body and the emotional mind are connected, and if you work with both of them, you're going to have better results.
The memory remains. Shorts, jersey, socks, shoes, torn ACL. The vertical cut of a reconstructed knee. The drill hole on the right side of my knee is starting all over again. A tears of hope, pain, relief, confusion. I won't give up on my dream. I won't let this thought of darkness and pain ever stop me. My body, my mind, my new me, connected. No more of a dissociated life. I am a whole person. A body, a mind, a dream.
Oh my God, these books are so heavy. Could you hold that for me? Thank you.
Shorty just grabbed the book. Shorty, you a goofy.
Who does that? Don't nobody carry nobody.
Shorty want to carry the book bag.
Why they do that?
Oh my God, Roy, these books are so heavy. Would you mind holding these for me?
No, I ain't holding before.
I remember watching anime when I was younger, and for me it was just all about the action. Like, I just liked the way they fought and different things like that. But now that I'm older, I start to see things and notice things. And I'm wondering, is it more than just cartoons? So my question is, like, what is anime?
Anime is an art form used for telling stories in an audiovisual medium, but it's a lot more than that.
It's like, the only thing I know about Japanese culture is like the you know, like everybody joke about it, about Asian culture. So I never really like dug into it.
It's very hard to sort of make a joke about anime if you don't know what you're talking about. You come off sounding really ignorant.
Mhm.
So you're like, oh, you like cartoons. And it's just like, aw.
But then when I started watching anime, I don't know. I guess I have a lot more respect for them and their craft.
Some of the inspiration came undoubtedly from American comic books, hence the wide-eyed characters.
It's Betty Boop, so it's like the beginning of animation as a medium for storytelling. It started early on, like with the very beginnings of film, like Astro Boy was black and white. I was really influenced by cartoons and Japanese artists and the heavy lines and the printmaking and the very stylistic images they would make and how they influenced European artists.
Anime was using a lot of Western techniques, but after years went by, anime started to progress and it started to branch off and use its own cultural identity. And then Western animation started using techniques that Japanese anime came up with, or Japanese creators came up with for anime, and they used it in Western animation.
Like you start seeing the idiosyncrasies in their behavior as far as just like how they greet each other when they come into houses, like daily life stuff, geographical stuff.
I've seen a lot of interesting looking foods, religious practices.
It depends on the type of anime that you're looking at.
Any one of the Hayao Miyazaki films is a fantastic way to learn about Japanese culture because
if you didn't sort of go the extra length into actually trying to look into the culture, you probably wouldn't even get a lot of the jokes.
Maybe a more natural part of the storyline in the anime stories that I've seen.
One time in animation class, we actually saw a side-by-side comparison of the kids having to fight in the boondocks, and it's actually a frame-for-frame redoing of a fight scene in Naruto. And I just found that really interesting, how they take existing footage from anime and make it, have it in a completely new context, and I just found that really interesting to watch.
Anime can be looked at as a direct representation of Japanese culture because it has so many small pieces of Japanese culture, tradition, history, and style inside it.
The way I've seen just it's presented naturally, like, okay, this is part of our world.
Japan, at least what I could tell, going back into antiquity, their history isn't broken.
In the 1920s, Japan was working hard to become an industrialized nation, but discrimination towards the Japanese was a big problem, and it led to the deterioration of the companionship between the West and the East. Japan was an isolated island until Commodore Perry opened it to America in 1858. But even after Japan remained mostly closed to many foreign influences until the leading up to World War II. In 1924, the U.S. Congress passed the Exclusive Act that prohibited further immigration from Japan. And after World War II, in the 1930s, the U.S. military almost had total control over Japan's government. After Japan's surrender in 1945, the United States instituted sweeping changes in Japan through every aspect of life, such as new constitution, democratics, education, labor reforms, etc. Japan was westernized and they needed a way to form cultural identity, and the Japanese found a way to do that through art.
I feel like a lot of anime and manga and pretty much any Japanese art form came after World War II. It was trying to like reclaim and reshape their identity after what happened to them, trying to fight for the Japanese culture in a time when, during the American occupation.
Japan was westernizing because of the occupation and because of the upset of the war.
Anime was like a way of escape. I would say it was a chance to keep in remembrance and reclaim their cultural identity. To quote historian Susan Napier, film and the visual mass media in general can indeed help to write history and create national identity.
Culturally, and saying that, they tend to embrace a lot of their older habits, a lot of their older traditions.
In the West, it's always about industry, the Industrial Revolution, and like conquering nature. But in Japan, it's more of like, it's something you literally have to live with. You have to have some degree of respect for what sustains your own life.
In the West, for the most part, they're biased, but with Japanese and Japanese tradition and culture, they see everything as equal. You don't look at just one thing. You need both. You can't just weigh one side heavier than the other. They both have to be equal and they have to balance out. And that's when Shinto religion comes in.
Shinto religion is kind of like the native religion for Japan.
I'm not sure how many people are still of the Shinto faith there. It's so ingrained in the culture that it still pops up a lot.
When you think of like Native Americans, they worship sort of nature gods. So you have like the fox spirit and the trees all have spirit. And like if you've ever seen any of Miyazaki's work, there's a lot of Shinto woven into the landscape of his films.
The closest one I can think of at the moment is Princess Mononoke, where it's all about striking a balance between the environment versus personal gain. San, the princess, she just has completely turned herself away from humanity and lives with the animals and wants to be a spirit of nature. And then you have her rival is Lady Iboshi, who symbolizes like industry and factories. And at first glance, it's like it would be so easy to like just see her like one-dimensional villain because she's like industry and that's bad. But then you realize like no one is like a clear-cut hero or villain.
Customs from feudal Japan are still used now, today in Japan, and you can see that in anime, whether it's through food or the way they greet each other or the way they talk to each other or even the way that they show affection.
They think they're cool or just because of habit, you know, like ninjas and samurais. That's all older Japanese history. But I mean, when you start like looking at, you know, the way they name their characters, it'll be off of like older Japanese generals or, you know, older clans and things like that. So they're always digging back into like their history and then pulling that and referencing it.
That's why if you look at something like Naruto, it follows in certain respects Japanese history, where it looks like it could be in a time almost like this. Right. Some of them still kind of dress like it's a feudal era Japan. Things that happened 1,000 years ago still have relevance, still have a place now.
When I watched anime, I understood most things, but there were like also a lot of things they referred to that I've never heard of. And that's when I officially made the connection that anime, when I went further, was more than just a form of entertainment.
Anime means that, especially now, that it's more than just a specific storyline. That animation can tell hugely complex and adult stories in any subgenre that you can think of.
Anime is more than entertainment. I would say it's like a window into another culture. And when you watch anime, you start to see the subtleties and Japanese identity in anime, and it starts to reflect real life.
Everything that I know, but it sounds like I read a book. I haven't read books on Japanese culture, really. Yeah. No, I've read articles, I've read pieces. And the reason I read those pieces is because there's a cartoon or a movie that made me go, I wonder what this is about.
You definitely can learn a lot of stuff from anime, just as far as taking it into the context that it is. It's a very Japanese-centric art, and as long as you understand that, you know, it may not necessarily be indicative of like life in general, like this is exactly how it works or all this stuff happens.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Or you learn in world history a little bit about Japanese culture. And that's when the lights start going off and I start going, oh, I saw this and this, I saw this and this, I saw this and this, da-da-da-da-da. But all of this I'm talking about are all anime or manga. So the manga anime would have grouped to like my curiosity about Japanese culture. And it explained a lot.
But when you start looking at the basis of things of, you know, either what happened in their history or how they psychologically deal with these things and how that manifests in the content, then you start seeing connections between things. So I mean, if you pay attention, you'll be able to pick up a lot of stuff as far as like their cultural cues and whatever.
Anime refers to a lot of Japanese history, and you can see that in anime, whether it's referred to characters' names, their background, where they're from, or their homeland.
How I got into it was funny because there are two stories to it. It's like, how did I get into watching this style of cartoon versus how did I get into searching for this cartoon? A lot of this I learned from Japanese anime. Right. Like a lot of this came from me watching it all, then going, okay, these things are constant. Then messing around and reading something in school and going, oh, I already got told about this. Because I was watching an episode of Dragon Ball Z. Right. Or me going from calling ramen noodles to calling it ramen. Because ramen is what it's called in Japan.
It's noodles. Right.
Yeah, it's noodles. You know what I'm saying? There's stuff like that I didn't realize, or even the technique to like a good bowl of ramen. I learned that from Naruto.
So you know how to cook it?
I like you giving me, like if I get the ingredients, yeah, I'll do the best version I could do, not being from Japan, right, or having like Japanese friends around me to correct me.
Anime projects this idea that while you're watching it, it's exclusively fitted for a certain culture. It's like looking out the window into another culture.
But you are going to have a great day, boo. I'm not even going to worry about anything that's going on today, okay? Can be different from mama. Just have a great day.
Look at this girl coming through this hallway with the rocker with fit on.
Everybody want to walk around and be followers and do the same thing. I choose not to. I'm one of the few, and I choose to be different.
I live in the community, the Lawndale community, which there is a high rate of gangs.
I grew up in a lot of different communities, but the communities I grew up in was rough, project-ish.
My community is pretty much bad. Within the last 2 months, it's just been really crazy. Within 2 weeks' time, 6 boys got killed.
Living in a community with gangs, it doesn't affect me personally, but it affects my community because most of the violence that occurs, it happens with gangs. Gangs are the cause of it.
I think gangs are in this community because of the high poverty rate. It's not a lot of high schools in this community, or not a lot of youth centers the young males can go to.
No jobs. When people don't have jobs, then what are they gonna do?
So they turn to gangs as their support and as their safety.
So this whole notion, when you look at the connection between class and shooter organizations / gangs, and I think it's actually to look at it at a triple-pronged space. So class, race, and shooter organizations.
The major contributing factors to gang formation: number 1, poverty; number 2, poor education; number 3, lack of jobs; number 4, poor housing opportunities.
And a lot of times, because many communities that are referenced as poor may not have the same resources, they have to create their own spaces where they can protect themselves and at the same time support community members. And a lot of times I think that they are, in many cases, allowed to flourish in particular areas because in some instances that's all folks have. That's all folks may have, or more importantly, that's all folks might think they have.
Look at the role of housing. You tear down public housing in Chicago, you demolish all the public housing, you push the people out, you push them into other communities that don't have any resources, and what you think is gonna happen? It's gonna be tension and friction, and it's gonna turn into gangbanging.
Combine that with not having access to particular spaces in the city. You think about that, about unemployment, you think about unemployment generationally, you think about low quality education in those spaces where young folks are not valued and are able to see the outside world and how they can contribute to improving it. Then you create almost a perfect storm that could actually allow for organizations that may not have the best intentions for the community to flourish.
That's why we got all this violence going on. So look at the city. Blame them. Blame Daley. You know, don't just blame the kids. It's a lot of blame to go around, you know, but right now it seems to be, you know, just focused on kids in our community and locking them up, and I think that's a big mistake.
So we very rarely think about, say, the first Daley, who was mayor of Chicago, as a member of a quote-unquote gang.
Some people will even argue that, like, Mayor Daley's father was in a gang. You know, the first Mayor Daley was in a gang called the Hamburg Group.
But we know that the Hamburgs actually were formed in response, not just as an athletic club, but in response to police brutality.
But they were able to take their gang and turn it into a political organization.
So if we look at organizations like Latin Kings, the Imperial Counts or the Chaplains, these are older structures, street organizations in Chicago, they in many cases were formed to protect the neighborhood and to protect themselves from police.
They did positive things in the 50s and 60s, and the leadership of the organizations was stronger. You know, so the leaders of the gangs in the 50s and 60s, when they said something, it was the law for everybody in the gang.
Affiliations are much looser than they were 20, 30 years ago, but at the same time, there is a level of organization.
In the 70s, the government targeted gang leaders in the war on drugs. So a lot of the gang leaders got taken off the street. Guys like Larry Hoover, Bobby Gore from out west, all of these guys, they got locked up. And when the leaders got locked up, it left the streets disorganized. The guys on the streets didn't have any leaders to lead them.
Gangs denote this notion around just a group of young folks running around, breaking stuff, robbing people, beating folks up. That might be part of the situation and the condition, but I think it's really important to understand those spaces as organized.
Today, what you have is the guys that are out here on the street today, they don't honor the former leaders and the former mission of the gangs. Like if you look at the laws and the mission of the vice lords, it talks about how they were, their goal was to improve the community. Today, we have guys out here, they don't respect the leadership. They do what they want to do. It's different renegade groups, and they fight with each other over petty things, mainly drug, turf, and that type of thing, and that's what has happened. So no, they don't honor what happened. They're not like the gangs were. The gangs today are not like they were in the past. Popular culture has a major influence on gang formation and gang identity and gang culture, so to speak.
I know, like, the music that I listen to, they talk about gangs, being a part of the gang or the gang that they used to be in. And I know, like, a lot of the things that rappers do, people, well, young men that are a part of gangs, they portray the same things in the outside world.
I think the media affects teens' lives, like, it's a very big impact on teens, because, you know, teens nowadays, they don't really have that much, you know, good influences. So they look towards all the famous people and all the rich people and stuff that they see on TV. That's their only choice, I guess.
A lot of the gangster rappers like Lil Wayne and them, and Rick Ross and Jay-Z and 50 Cent and Eminem and Dr. Dre, that same record company, the Universal Music Group, is also owned by General Electric, which is the major owner and operator and investor in private prisons. So on one hand, they building prisons where these guys are going to, private prisons, and on the other hand, they are producing music that creates a climate and culture of criminality that leads guys to go to prison. I'll never forget when I first heard the rap group NWA, Niggas with Attitudes, which was really considered the first gangster rap group. But these guys began to rap about gang banging, set tripping, selling drugs, doing violence, doing drive-by shootings. And because it was a part of popular culture, what happened was that kind of activity and that kind of behavior became popular for young people.
Gangs, I don't know, they're very popular nowadays. You're cool if you're in a gang. You're popular if you're in a gang.
And so now you got kids who really don't even grow up in the hood who want to identify with being a gangbanger, and I think that contributes to the large growth of street gangs.
To stop gang violence as a community, I think that we should have more after-school programs like parks and different things like that.
Talk to these children, especially the young ones that's in it. Talk to them, let them know that this is not the life that you want to live. You don't know where you might end up if you join a gang. You don't know the outcome and result of it. So while you're ahead, just stop, think about it before you even try to put yourself in a position that you know you will not be able to get yourself out of.
Also, we should have more police enforcement because I feel as if the police could do something to stop the gang violence.
Providing a quality education, providing young folks with activity before and after school, and actually listening to young folks about their issues and concerns and creating programs based on their expressed issues and concerns.
And I've been running in the streets all day, and I've been looking at the stars all night. It got me thinking, how can I get away? It got me thinking about a perfect day. And I could tell you something we both know. We can hustle but the streets get cold. And I've been thinking, how can I get away? It got me thinking about a perfect day.
Yo, you're rocking with Amari Stoudemire, and you're watching Hoops High. Watch it or watch nothing.
Behind the scenes of Hoops High, it's more than interviews and replays. The crew contributes 110% in setup and production.
While we have fun, we are also very serious about getting the job done.
We have the opportunity to work with big companies such as Nike and to meet current and future NBA stars. We are Hoops High.
Do you want to eat these?
No, I want some real food.
I don't want this at all.
What real food are we going to eat?
Well, you know FSM, they have to take this.
FSM at the Taste?
Let's go check them out.
Yeah, let's go down
check
there.
them out.
Let's go watch it.
FSM News is back with the sweet taste of summer at the Taste of Chicago.
I hope there's something new for us to try this year.
Well, our crew is out there right now looking at Ayanzi's African food.
Also, we have chefs showing us some awesome recipes.
Get your plate ready. We'll be right back with the first dish.
Hello and welcome to FSM News on the Road. I'm Brian Jones.
And I'm Brianna Washington.
The taste is great, but it's nothing like it used to be.
True. Years ago it was open for 2 weeks, and now it's only 5 days long.
Really? Well, here's FSM News reporter Ernest Moses with the transformation of the taste.
When people look back on the visit to the Taste of Chicago, certain memories bring a smile to their faces.
I would say probably about 10 years ago, just being out with some friends and being able to go see when LL Cool J was in concert here.
Coming here as a kid with my family, I don't remember a specific time, just being a kid and coming here and eating all the food and that kind of thing.
Since opening day in 1980, the Taste of Chicago has changed, but some people like it that way.
Well, I remember it was way more people, there were way more food stands to eat from, and it was a lot more chaotic, so I kind of like the fact that it's toned down a little bit.
Well, I know this is the first time that they've had a lot of merchants out, so you can actually buy like the wares of like different artists, and I think that's a cool add-on.
Our stand has been here for 34 years.
We were one of the first original restaurants to be at the Taste of Chicago. The Taste used to be 10 days, and now it's only 5, so that's a huge difference.
Despite the changes over the years, people still come for the food.
Our top selling dish is original plain cheesecake with strawberries or without, but plain, it's the staple of Eli's Cheesecake, and it's delicious.
But I'd have to say that alligator sausage was pretty tasty. I'd never had alligator before. I read about it, and I came and tasted it a few minutes ago, and it was delicious.
Reporting from FSM News, I'm Ernest Moses.
Wow, I never knew that the Taste was reshaped so much.
Exactly. But the one thing that remains the same is the exotic foods.
The Taste has plenty of cultural foods, like African and Asian cuisines.
Here's Aaliyah Boxley with more foreign entrees.
Ayani's jerk chicken. That sounds nice. This is one of the many cultural dishes at the Taste of Chicago.
This year we're doing jollof rice with oxtail. The jollof rice is pretty much like a West African, like a staple. Every country in West Africa eats a different type of jollof rice. And then we're also doing jerk chicken, Jamaican style jerk chicken. Trying to keep the African essence and the diaspora essence together.
That Ayani's was very good. Now let's head over to the Italian side. Tuscany, here we come.
We try to keep the food simple and delicious. So we're featuring today an Italian beef sandwich with roasted peppers, a toasted ravioli with fresh marinara sauce, and an Italian sausage also with sweet peppers.
The noodle. This crab noodle smells mighty nice. How does it taste?
Most popular item is the crab rangoon, and that's a fried dumpling with imitation crab meat and cream cheese mixed inside. The sesame wings, we fry the wings and then we put sesame sauce on it. And then for the calamari, we bread it here and then we put it in the deep fryer and we serve that. And we tell them that they should put a sauce on it too, like the sweet chili sauce.
These diverse restaurants bring a new flavor to the Americanized Taste of Chicago.
Because we have a lot of Asian flavors that most people don't usually try, like the sweet chili and the sesame. Well, that's more popular, but I feel like some people still don't try that as much because they're not sure what it is.
I'm trying to bring something a little bit different from the typical pizza, turkey leg, and chicken.
We follow the integrity of the authenticity of the product and the way that we prepare items. So they're all based in tradition, the way they're spiced, and the flavor profiles.
The cultural dishes offered at the Taste are one of the many things that makes the event so unique. Reported from FSM News, I am Aaliyah Boxley. Back to Brianna and Brian.
Looks good, guys.
It does, but don't you ever want to see the food actually cooked?
Of course. Reporter Lindell Connor is on the job to show food prepared to perfection.
Did you ever think you would be able to get cooking classes and recipes from the world's most famous chefs?
No, not at all. No.
Yes. Why? Because I want to learn other foods.
Well, this year it's happening. Mariano's has brought some of the best chefs to Chicago, and they are giving cooking demonstrations to anyone who attends the show.
I love to cook, and I would love to know how the professionals do it.
Actually, I shop at Mariano's, and I live in Chicago, so saw it on the brochure when I came in and made a beeline right over here.
Tony Priolo is today's celebrity chef. Let's see what he thought about the demonstration.
I had a great time. It was fun. The crowd was into it. You know, the cooking was fun. You know, that's always a good time.
Could you explain to me what you made today?
Yeah, today I made risotto with wild mushrooms. I used arborio rice. I slow cooked it with mushrooms and porcini broth, which is a mushroom. And I finished with the extra virgin olive oil, butter, and Parmesan cheese.
What is your favorite dish to make?
That's kind of hard to ask a chef what their favorite dish is, because we have, you know, like for me, I change it up every season, or I get excited about a new ingredient that comes out, like strawberries are awesome right now. Mushrooms, spring mushrooms, asparagus. Every week it changes.
Now that we heard from the chef himself, let's see what the audience has to say.
I like how he used, nothing got left behind, how he took the mushrooms and that also got used in the recipe, even the scrap parts.
My favorite part of the show was him talking about his background for being from Sicily, and him talking about that Italy eat a lot of rice, when I thought they eat a lot of pasta over there.
To experience more of Tony Priolo's authentic Italian food, you can find him at Piccolo Sogno Restaurants, or you can check him out online at www.piccolosogno Restaurants. Reporting for FSM News, I'm Lindell Connor.
Now that's really something.
Even the fountain behind us is something special.
Really? Well, let's have Jakira Smith and India Connor explain more.
While at the Taste of Chicago, the attraction that stands out to the Chicagoans and tourists is the Buckingham Fountain. But does anyone know what it really represents?
I'm not really sure, but I'll take a guess. I think that, I don't know, maybe it's an homage to the Buckingham Palace in England. I'm not really sure.
That's a good question. What does the Buckingham Fountain represent? Not being from Chicago, I guess it represents freedom and joy and happiness, but I don't know.
I have never seen the Buckingham Palace or Buckingham Fountain till today, and I actually had figured it had something to do with the Buckingham Palace, but it's because I've never also been to Chicago before.
I think it represents a lot of things. I think it's kind of the opening to the park. I know it's a memorial for Clarence Buckingham, but it's also just a place for people to congregate when they come to Chicago.
He's exactly right. Did you know that the Buckingham Fountain is a memorial dedicated to Clarence Buckingham? He was a trustee of the Art Institute of Chicago for 11 years. His sister, Kate Buckingham, donated $1 million for the fountain, which was officially opened to the public on May 26, 1927. Reporting for FSM News, I'm Jakira Smith.
Zaria, sweetie, India's here. Thanks, Mom. Can you send her in?
Hey, Zaria, what you doing?
Hey, India. Nothing. Just trying to figure out an outfit to wear tomorrow to the taste.
And what are you wearing?
A long black and white skirt and a tank top and some wedge heels.
Why are you wearing wedges?
I mean, why not?
Your feet gonna be hurting.
Girl, I'm a pro at this.
Okay.
Hello, hold on. Yeah. No, I'm at my house. No, India over here. Yeah.
Oh my God, can you walk any faster?
Girl, my feet hurt. Much better.
Don't be like her. Think smart. Wear comfortable shoes.
Well, my plate is empty. Check us out next week for more FSM News.
But I can't wait until then.
If you're hoping for seconds, viewers can also check us out on Facebook. Just search FSM News.
And don't forget, you can also find us on ABC7 Chicago's website in the community section.
You can also watch us on CAN TV channels 19 and 27. 3,
2,
1.
That's the taco wrap. Looks good, guys.
If you're hoping for seconds, viewers, you can also check us out on Facebook. Well, if you're hoping for seconds, viewers, that's the hardest part. If you're hoping for second viewers,
If you're
hoping for seconds, pause. I seen a comma late after I said it. Well, my plate is empty. Check us out next week for more.
The noodle. This crab rangoon smells mighty nice. How does it taste? Very good.
My name is Jakira Smith. What is your name and how do you spell it?
My name is Roxanne. I will spell your name.
No, your name is spell it.
Since opening day, Taste Coke has changed, but some people like it that way. Since opening day, Taste Coke has changed, but some people like it that way. I don't. Since opening day, Taste Coke has changed, but some people like it that way.
FSM bringing in some good news for the
Oh, lyric. Are you looking through the mirror?
Yeah.
Free Spirit Media cultivates diverse youth voices to transform media and society.